Hello, global students. How are we doing? Happy Thursday. It's Miss Hanovich here.
And Mrs. Hebert, we miss you a lot, and we're having a lot of fun doing these together. And many of you gave us some good feedback on our Google form last week that you like these, so we're going to keep doing them.
Yeah, I enjoyed looking at that number 10 question for the Africa quiz. That was awesome. Really, really good stuff, friends. We hope you're enjoying the Renaissance a little bit that you got to read about it. So today we're going to do a little bit more context for the Renaissance, what it means, what does even the word Renaissance means. It's such a funny word. And it's something that you're going to hear a lot because people say that even now we're currently going through a Renaissance.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially right now with everything going on.
The technology, for sure. All right, so what are you going to do? You're going to listen to this amazing screencast. Check, done, you're amazing. 2, you're going to complete the document that we will post on Google Classroom for you guys, and you're going to put it in your Google Drive. Again, this is something that you are going to keep to help you for future quizzes and assessments, very much like what we did with Africa for a few of those notes.
Right.
And please make sure that you submitted the assignment from Tuesday, which was the 28th. And check your email to see if you're missing any assignments. Mrs. Hebert and I sent out lists to each student what they're missing.
Right. And it's also really easy for you all to keep track when you go on Google Classroom and something is assigned to you as an assignment. That means that we're grading that.
Exactly.
For example, this today, when we post this, it's not posted as an assignment, meaning that you have to do it and you have to file it in your Google Drive because you're going to want it for your other graded assignments during this unit. But we're not collecting it, so we're not going to be chasing you down for this paper to be submitted on Google Classroom.
Exactly. Good. All right. Ready? Let's do it. Woohoo! All right, so here we go. So just as a refresher, let's look at the timeline of Western Europe. Do not get confused. We're not talking about the Byzantine Empire, right? Which is the western part of Europe. So we have Rome, right? We remember the Roman Empire, which then becomes into the Middle Ages, the dark, the dreary Middle Ages. And then all of a sudden we're going to have this new phenomenon called the Renaissance come about.
Right. Remember, this is Western Europe, just like Ms. Hanovich said. When we were doing the Byzantine Empire, I think we put it on the board at least 5 or 6 different times where we drew the line down the middle. We said, all right, the western part, they're in the Middle Ages. The eastern part, they're Byzantine Empire. They're thriving. They're thriving while the other side is struggling. So here we go. The struggle is over in the Western Europe, and we're going into the Renaissance.
And the Renaissance meaning, it's actually a French word for rebirth. So if you can just remember the R-E for Renaissance, rebirth. I always remember, I don't know why, it's something that stuck with me when I was in high school.
It sticks with you, right?
It does, yeah, it's so funny. So it's basically, it's going to be like a cultural movement. So when we talk about rebirth, we're going to change from the Middle Ages. We're going to get rid of that dark and dreary tone that the Middle Ages was all about, and now we're going to have a rebirth into something, more inventive, a little bit brighter in terms of art, new inventions, new academic works, stuff like that.
Right. Very, very similar to a golden age.
Yes.
And I never understood why all these textbooks that we use for history, they never call the Renaissance a golden age. But it really is very similar to a golden age because during the Renaissance, you do have that piece. Maybe you don't have as much prosperity initially, but you do get a lot of cultural innovations and a lot of advancements that happen, especially in artwork, which we're going to talk more about next week.
Yeah, artwork is awesome during this time. I'm trying to think of a fun analogy to try to help us understand what a Renaissance is, and the thing that came to my mind, and please excuse me for being a nerd, everybody, but a lot of people do say that Minecraft just went through a Renaissance, right? When PewDiePie started to do Let's Plays again, all of a sudden, all attention was back on Minecraft, and you had new updates and new media and new, skins and things to play with. It was considered a renaissance because it was a rebirth of what was there. They redid it and they upped the ante with it.
You're amazing.
Thanks.
For making that connection. I feel like I used to use Jay-Z as an example of a Renaissance person, somebody who he was good at a bunch of different things. Your thing for Minecraft makes a lot more sense.
Oh no, I like yours. Thanks though. So yeah, this is a cultural movement. So, and we know that movement meaning a change. It's a big change in history. This is one of those time periods where the course of human history takes a turn. And it's going to start in Italy in the 1300s, but like everything else, it will slowly spread across Europe. So even though it starts in Italy, it's going to reach everywhere.
Right. And what's cool about that part of it reaching everywhere is actually the weather is going to play a big role in this. Like the weather in Southern Europe, it's like beautiful and warm and it's reflected in the artwork. Whereas Northern Europe, where it's a little bit, they get more rain, they're more seasonal, they get snow. That's also reflected in the artwork.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool. And I love this part too, that because of stuff like that, and where you are in Europe, the Renaissance would have started at different times for you, depending on where you were. So if you're in Italy, you got heat in the action right away. All right, so let's look at some of the art real quick, super, super brief, but you're going to be, I'm sure you've seen some art like this before, with Renaissance especially.
And again, if we were in class, Ms. Hanovich and I would stand in front of the board and we would tell you that this art, yes, they are naked. So be appropriate. But again, there's a lot of reason behind that. There's like a very deep appreciation for the human body that you can see. It stems in that classical art, which we already spoke about with ancient Greece and ancient Rome, and then comes out again with that Renaissance artwork. With
the twist, as always, right? Because everything's a little bit different. And we'll get into that a lot more next week, too. But there definitely are. You can definitely see some similarities between the two things. The Renaissance takes inspiration from the classical age, for sure. Right. Okay, so if we go to the next... Now, this is all on your note sheet. You're going to see like the different ages that we had talked about. We're going to see, look, it's like the map again. Here's the Byzantine Empire, right? Versus what's happening in the West.
We can't get away from it.
It's following us. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to read through each of these like little blurbs about different time periods, and then you're going to answer these questions. Now, again, these questions are on the worksheet that are, that you guys have from Google Classroom, and you're going to just list the different golden ages in chronological order. So we're going to have to remember our timeline, what it means, like BCE versus CE. If you need that, you guys can always look back on either Miss Hebert's website, my e-board, Google Classroom, all the way back there. Yep. So put all of these in chronological order. You're going to say which civilization's ideas were the foundation for collective learning in the Mediterranean world. Identify 2 examples of innovation described in the chart. That should be a word we know and love.
Remember, innovation, anything that's a new invention, something that makes life easier, better.
And then last one, based on the dates and information provided, which civilization's knowledge most directly influenced the start of the Renaissance? And Mrs. Hebert, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got. This is very straightforward for today. Again, this week we're just introducing the topic. For those of you who really love artwork, please share with us. Look up a piece of Renaissance art and share it with us, because we have some ideas floating around for what we're going to do next week with the Renaissance artwork. All right?
And that's good. All right, friends. Hope you enjoyed today. I hope you have a great weekend. And
email us with any questions that you have. We miss you.
We do. We miss you guys so much. Yeah, that's it. All right. See you later, friends.
Bye.